Hi everyone, welcome back to my Taboo's Voice channel. Today we are going to be talking about suffering. Were you in an environment that supports this behavior? Because I know that I was and still am. And through my journey, I learned that this is not normal. I know that's so insane, right? But at the same time, it isn't insane if your environment display that it is normal. And as I grew up and became an adult, I noticed that it's not only in my personal environment, it's in relationships, whether it's intimate or just friendship, in work environments, and just crossing paths with like strangers. It can happen anywhere. And it has to do with your belief and how you were raised, or just the kind of environment that you were around, and you were programmed to believe that something like that was okay and normal. And so that's gonna be our conversation. I know that growing up, I remember my parents and siblings that would like say, "Oh, touch my hand. Do you feel the callus on my hand? How rough it is?" And I would touch it, and I'm like, "Oh yes." It's like, maybe you should put some lotion on it. But to them, they're like, "No, it's not that. It's because I'm working so hard. That's the reason why my hand is so rough." And I'm like, and they would like touch my hand. They're like, "That's the reason why you're not working hard enough because your hand's not rough." And I'm like, "No, it's because I put lotion on my hands." And what's so insane is that when they said those things, I, I knew deep down that they believed that by them putting their body in that kind of situation, that hardship, it was it was them working hard. And to me, that never made sense, but did I display it? I definitely did. And it was through my like multiple lessons, okay, throughout my journey, that I was like, okay, this is not okay. And like, I knew that that wasn't normal, but did it impact me? Growing up in that kind of environment, yes, I picked it up, and I was working hard, um, and I put my body through different types of pain and suffering, and mine was more internal. Like, if you guys ever heard of your body, like, it holds the pain, the trauma, it is true. And I did not understand that until my very last job. How much pain and agony I was in. Like, oh my gosh, it took me down to my lowest. That's all I can say is that. And for me to really understand that that was not the path that I wish to walk, I never believed in it. And this is a pattern that I need to break, that I picked up from my environment. Because suffering is not something that we or I thrive in. And I know as human beings, that is not an environment that we thrive in. We thrive in an environment that's healthy, that allows us to be our authentic self and does not require us to sacrifice ourselves. It's an environment where we can be as creative and innovative, and it's just allowing a flow of information to come through. Because, my gosh, when I was able to be in an environment like that during my internship, and the beautiful person that was supervising me, oh my gosh, he was just so amazing because he allowed me to be so creative and he gave me that space and I loved it. And that was a moment that I was really able to explore the different areas of me. And I wrote up like I wrote up 2 protocols for experiments. And what is so amazing is that one of them I was able to run the experiment and it worked so well. And I had a great team that I was able to talk to and get some information before doing additional research to write up a protocol to run trials on this strain of mice that had a breakout of a bacteria that we wanted to remove. And it worked so well, and we were able to save that strand. But it's stuff like that. It's only possible. It's because your environment really allow you to explore yourself, and allow flow of information to come through. You're not being restricted. You're not being jammed with a ton of work that is just to keep you busy. You're allowed to actually really sit down and think about what is happening around you in your research, what's impacting research, and go deeper to understand. Like, for example, I've talked in the past about mice that had a mutation in the collagen 7, and so that impacted them from the skin anchoring on to itself. And so because the skin was so sensitive, if it was touched just the slightest, it would get damaged. I mean, like skin slipping. Okay, that's how severe it was. And I absolutely fell in love with this group of mice, and my heart really wanted to find a cure for this genetic disease. It did not happen, but what I learned was so amazing. It's because the thing is that these group of mice, they couldn't even live past a few days. And to run experiments on them was difficult because they weren't even living for that long, so you don't know if the treatment worked or not. And for me, I'm like, okay, well, let's ask the difficult question of why are they not living that long? And how long are the humans who have this genetic disorder living? Are they able to live longer? And the question is yes. So if it is yes, then why are the mutant mice not able to live and survive for that long? And yeah, so I looked into this because this was super interesting to me, and it was important because if they weren't surviving, you can't even run tests on these treatments on them. And later on, after many months, it was even after the second protocol that I wrote up for mice that had a bacteria issue in their gut. And I was able to, when I stepped away and came back, um, and I was still doing work on the side for this too, while on top of me doing other stuff with the lab. Like, truly, when you have that um, space to be as creative and explore, what's so crazy is that you can actually give even more. That's what people do not understand. That's what organizations do not understand, is that when you allow your employees the breather, they actually give you more. And I was doing, like, I was writing protocols, running these experiments on top of like of my assignments that I was doing. So it was additional, and I didn't mind because it was so interesting, and it just brought so much life to me. And yeah, I talk about this is because that is it, is that suffering doesn't, it is not needed. It doesn't serve us in any way. It actually prevents us from being our creative self and being like super, just being the innovative person that lives within us. Like, truly, magic exists within all of us. We are here to provide like different things. And what happens is that when you join an organization that does not support that, and they only want you to do this certain thing, you're not allowed to actually tap into those areas. And I only mentioned about my internship because I was able to tap into those areas. It's because I was given the freedom to explore. And though I did not, I wish that it lasted a little longer, but that's okay. That's a part of the journey. And it actually, whenever I think back to that so much, that experience, because that's where all of my questions about life like truly started. Because even I questioned, how is it that the the mom, so we would have a breeder mice, and they would have their litters, and after 21 days the litter would be separated, like they'd be genotyped and separated into wild, hetero, and mutant. So it'd be like some just healthy. So hetero would be they carry the mutation gene, and then mutant is they have the disease. And how does the females know how to take care of the litters? And not all of them do, and it does come down to like what my supervisor, well, the one that was supervising me, would had said, because I asked him this. He said that it has to do with like how the mom was grooming their offsprings. Um, but that wasn't always true, because not all the females were good at nurturing their kids. And it had to do with so much more than that. And my experience with working with the mice, and there's and how I now believe that it was them being very spiritually in tune and guided to know how to nurture their offsprings. That is the same skill that I have used in that lab. That I was able to actually explore and really tap into my spiritual side, because I would go into trance while I'm doing my work, and it's almost as if it was like I'm doing the work, but it's like I'm in a different kind of space in my head. Like it was like a meditative state. And everything was just so clear, and it was like me just putting all the puzzles together. And it was just so amazing. And that is the beauty of being able to not feel like you need to be a certain way. In a work environment, you could just be your authentic self, and the work is so much greater than what you would actually present in an environment that is very hostile, and they really encourage people to work long hours and put their body through hardship. Because I remember a time when I took some time off because I was not feeling well. And my supervisor made a comment saying that first she asked me how I was doing. And I said that I'm doing okay. And I I was walking towards my desk, and under her breath, she said, well, you don't, like, she doesn't look really sick. And I made the comment saying that my sickness is not, it's within. And it hurt me that she would mention something like that. And leaving that job, I now understand that why she is the way she is because she truly believes that suffering is like a commitment, a loyalty, and love to the organization that you're working at. And she was expecting that also from her group. And this really shows what kind of environment she was raised in. To believe that it is okay to put your body in that kind of suffering. And I truly did not believe that, though I was also doing that in a different way, because the environment that I was in was so toxic and unhealthy, and it was hurting my body. It was creating trauma on my body because of what they were doing to one another, like the gossiping, it was just so much drama that I was not trying to get involved, but then to also like see it happening, it was a shock to me because I did not expect something like this to be in a environment like this. But more and more I realized that this is actually the norm, because when I reflected back, I was like, wait, this is actually a pattern that I've actually gone through. And this is the reason why I talk about it, is because this is being supported not only in work environment but family environment, relationships, to- toxic relationship suffering for like an organization or for a person. It's love, commitment, loyalty. That doesn't make any sense, because you do not need to to sacrifice yourself to show love, commitment, loyalty. You can be your authentic self, and you are your best self when you're your authentic self. And this is something that I truly believe that needs to be nourished, in our environment. And yeah, so this is the reason why I'm talking about it now, because going forward, I think this is not think, but I know this would actually help us thrive even faster and better when we're able to be our authentic self and given that space to explore different areas of us. Because when I was able to be in that space of exploration and creativity, like the puzzles that I was able to put into a masterpiece was just amazing. And so I can only imagine if going forward we support this behavior, and how far it would actually take us as a group, because we are all one. Well, thank you so much for listening. I love you guys so much. And if you guys want to share your own experience, oh, I would love to hear it. I will talk to you guys soon.